What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. A full timeline for this already up over at gorlickbread.com. I wanted to expand just a little bit as far as Chantal in this fundraiser, because if you go and you look, there's some conflicting reports about PayPal, fundraiser, where it's able to be done. I will say some of the consistent things: $20,000 limit, 30-day limit. So I find it very fitting that Chantal kind of cut the limit in half, yet went for the maximum amount of days. But here we are, her coming online, using her platform, setting up this fundraiser, trying to raise this money to get home. She includes this little recap of all of a sudden her and Salah are separating. She came on and did a video talking about how she's asexual now. Salah has this big home. It needs more than just her. Nothing's been working, even though we've not seen any of that. Then, hours later, literally hours later, we get this. Hey guys, I've deleted my PayPal fundraiser because a couple of hateful weirdo hags were obsessively leaving hateful public comments over and over. What I saw was people saying, hey, don't use your full name here. Stick to being anonymous if you're going to donate. And there were a lot of people donating $1 and leaving remarks like, this is what you got, this is what you earned, this is what you wanted. You know, Chantal, if someone's willing to give you money and you're truly this desperate, it really shouldn't matter what they say to you with their dollar. So now she opens this up right back to just straight send me money through PayPal. She goes on to say that she believes she has enough for her plane ticket, but, can't get over the fact that women who look to be in their 60s were leaving so much hate that it's time to grow up, that nothing is going to stop her. And the comments just added up. So thanks for the money. It's interesting. It's so interesting to see someone sit there and say, time to grow up. Time to grow up. The person that is asking for $10,000 to go back home is telling other people to grow up. Think about that. But this is what I wanted to focus on. This comment right here. I donated today and I would like my money back, please. I'm coming to you here because I don't know how to come to you privately. Chantal actually put up her Instagram so that people could contact her privately right after this. I donated $1.33 and I would like that back because listening to you tell this story, I feel that this is a scam and you're just wanting us to fund your escape from a place that you put yourself in, and now you want to up and leave your husband in a war-torn country. This is the statement of someone who has been in this community, okay? This is the statement of someone, whether they donated or not, if you want to hold that against them, that is fully aware that Chantal was in Canada months ago. She had an apartment. She was asking for money for an air conditioner. She went out and got a cat. She was doing the very same things there as she is in Syria when it comes to asking for support. But the consistent was she was coming online, she was streaming online, snacking and sealing. The content was not changing. Now, there's been a couple more videos while she's been in Syria, but for the most part, nothing has really changed. She then had to up and leave, I believe, lost her deposit, but then got it back, all of these things to go back to Syria to be with Salah. Her Beezers put her in a position to be exactly where she wants to be today, months ago. She is the one that made the decision that that wasn't good enough, that she wanted to go be with Salah. And as I've talked about various times, people get tired of hearing her cry, woof, woof. They just do. And if this really is the time where she's desperate to get back, if this really is the time where, hey, I've really got to get things settled, I have to go back to Canada, no more joking around, I've got to be there, then by all accounts, she's not getting nearly what she needs to get there. Her fundraiser was around $900. If that's enough to get a ticket, it's not enough to get a ticket with Julia. only for her, unless she's planning way ahead. I will also say to you that the month that I've been out on my own making content, I have now made more than Chantal did coming online and grifting in a couple of days. I say that with the concept of if Chantal would actually make content that people were willing to pay for, if she would put time, effort, energy, desire to make content, she would already be ahead of her goals. She would not be having to come online and just ask for a handout. People are willing to give you money for content that you create. She knows this all too well. But somehow she has gotten to the point through what really is just pure laziness where she wants to skip that part. She wants to skip the part of giving people the content that they want and just fast forward to, well, just give me the money. If you really want to know why, in my opinion, she's lost her views, it's that exact mindset. Yes, there are some people that are tired of the repetitive content. Yes, there are some people that didn't like Salah and said, as long as he's here, I'm not going to be here. Yes, there are people that didn't like her going to the Middle East, thought it was boring, never came back. Yes, there are people that said, hey, look, if you keep smoking this shisha right into the camera, I'm not going to come back. But I think a majority of people had to sustain life themselves. They had to go out and work. They had to maybe go out to a job they didn't like. And they were counting on Chantal for just a little bit of entertainment, even if it was just background noise. But slowly, that entertainment became begging for money. Slowly, that entertainment became nagging. Slowly, that entertainment became complaints. And I think a lot of people sat down and said, look, maybe I'm struggling to make ends meet. Maybe I don't have all the things I want in my life. Maybe my life isn't going exactly the way I want it to. But I'm not going to sit here, come online and complain about it for 2 hours on a live stream and hope that I get $20. I'm going to work every single day. I'm actively trying to change. I'm actively trying to better my life. And I don't think they saw that out of Chantal. So I think a lot of people really, really got turned off by this. And likely they're going to stay turned off by this. When Chantal comes online and says, oh, well, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my name and I'm going to go find a job. She says that, but I don't think she means that. I really don't think she means that. But how do you think that settles with somebody that's going to a job that maybe they really don't like? After seeing her get handed $800 to do nothing. After hearing her kind of create all these stories about how terrible things have been behind the scenes and all we never even knew about it. So much of Chantal's YouTube existence is things were going awful behind the scenes with a man. I never told you about it until everything came to a boiling point, and now I have to leave. I have an emergency, and I need your money. So Chantal going back to Canada isn't going to change anything. She has become accustomed to this. She doesn't want to be a content creator. She doesn't want to make content. She doesn't want to make vlogs. She doesn't want to travel. That's probably one of the core reasons Salah is done. Because as I've been saying for the longest time, we know a couple things to be factual. Number one, she sold Salah the couples channel and the travel content. Period. And number two, they need money to do that. Right? This is not exclusive to Chantal. This is anyone in the world. If you want to travel and make content, you need money and you need to be able to travel. You can't have all these physical restrictions. And Chantal has both of those. Chantal's YouTube income has probably been cut 40, 50% month over month. If you go back to this time last year, if you go back to when she first came to Kuwait, she is dependent on going back to Canada to have a video break 15,000 views. Think about that. Her last couple videos weren't clearing 6, 7, 8. I'll be the first one to tell you, you can't live off that. Not only that, somebody was footing the bill to drive all the way out to the middle of nowhere. She was taking time to make those vlogs. If you're making content that you don't really have to do anything for, if you're narrating something, if you're reviewing a movie, if you're reviewing a book, yeah, you can get by just fine with maybe 3 to 5,000 views. But if you have to travel, if you're driving somewhere, if you're buying something, you're done. It's over. You're not going to nearly make what you need. So who foot the bill to drive hours into these places to film these videos and then look at $7, $8, $9, $10 once you deduct all your time and travel? Yeah, who's going to keep doing that? Unless you truly love it. Unless you truly love it, who's going to keep doing that? No one. And even if you do love it, you're likely going to have somebody in your life say, listen, if you need this to survive, it's probably not working out real well. You're probably making about $1 an hour, which is fine if it's your free time and you don't care. But when it's time that you're not earning income, you got a real problem. So Chantal has all of these things going on and then some. But Chantal, I'll tell you, the bigger problem is that you have not listened to your audience. You just put up a poll the other day that's been deleted as well, where people told you what they wanted to see. They wanted to see you get your health and your life back in order. And yet the first thing you did when you found out you were going back to Canada is assume that the Nashies would come back, have multiple people check, and then get so excited you made a community post because you used to buy 2, 3, 4 of them at a time. That is not what your audience wants. And they've told you this over and over and over. You continue to learn the hard way. And maybe that is what people find entertaining. Love to know your thoughts on it. Appreciate you watching it. Top comments from the last video. Just like those Nashville chicken sandwiches in the passenger seat of a rental car Chantal's driving, I'll be back as soon as I can with more commentary.